Hello, it's Chef John from foodwishes.com, and today we are doing cider braised beef brisket. This is a delicious recipe, slow food at its finest. And there's our beef brisket. It's about 5 pounds. And I'm going to kind of break tradition here. Normally this is not trimmed until after it's cooked, but one side of it has a good amount of fat on this one end. The other side, that's the bottom, very lean. Don't worry about that little thin layer of fat. That's going to melt off. All right, we're going to salt and pepper one side here very generously. It's a big, thick piece of meat, so we're going to have to, season it good. Now, what I want you to do is put your oven on 475, nice hot oven, and in a baking dish, kind of something deep, something at least 4 inches deep. All right, I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil in there, a couple tablespoons, and I'm going to swish that in the olive oil so both sides are coated. And then I'm going to add salt and pepper to the other side. And we're going to brown that for 20 minutes, get a nice brown color on it. I got some onion, I got some garlic, I got some rosemary, I got my braising liquid, which is going to be a nice apple cider. So very straightforward dish. Once it comes out of the oven after the 20 minutes, it'll have some nice color. I'm going to put it on a baking sheet. I'm going to tell you why in a second. I'm going to add my cloves of garlic. And what I did there is I just smashed them a little bit. I didn't chop them up. I just bruised them with the flat edge of the knife. I'm going to put on about a tablespoon of dry rosemary. Dry actually is going to work better than fresh here. I sliced up an onion. We're just going to throw that on there. And then our braising liquid. Okay. Now you could just use stock here and you'd have a delicious recipe, but the sweetness of this apple juice, this apple cider, just works so well with the garlic and the onion and the rosemary. It's a really nice combination. So that's a pint of that. Of course, all the ingredients are below on the blog. The reason I put this on a baking sheet is this has to be tightly wrapped. So I'm going to kind of tuck it underneath, okay? I'm going to tuck it underneath so the foil is very, very secure. And that's just my first layer of foil. I'm going to put a second layer on, and then I'm really going to crimp it nice and tight. And again, it doesn't have to be like 1,000% airtight, but we don't want the apple juice evaporating. We want a nice amount of juice left when we're done, because this is going to cook a long time. We're going to turn this down to 325, and we're going to braise this for 3 hours. All right? So you're going to throw that in for 3 hours. 3 hours later, you're going to carefully, because that steam will burn you, you're going to carefully unwrap it with your tongs, and you're going to see a beautiful hunk of meat. And it's going to be fork tender. What is fork tender? It's what it sounds like. You stick a fork in it, and it's done. Hey, I should coin that phrase. All right, now what I like to do is cut that thing into like quarters so I have some like manageable pieces. See that grain? See those fibers? How they're running this way? You have to cut brisket and most meats against the grain. So we're going to take our piece. This is like a quarter of the brisket. And I'm going to slice this against the grain in nice thin slices when it's cool enough to handle. All right, if you do this when it's like super hot, it kind of shreds and tears, so let it cool down a little bit. Because I'll show you what we're going to do. Man, that looks delicious. What we're going to do is we're going to put it in a bowl, and we're going to top it with that delicious braising liquid. And man, I'm saying braising a lot. But that's the technique we used. I served it with some 5-spice carrots, which I'm also going to demo. And that is an incredible bowl of food. That succulent beef, the sweet onions, the garlic, the apple, the rosemary, just everything works together. And hey, it's getting chilly out there, so we're going to be doing lots of these type of recipes. And hey, I'd even eat this in the middle of summer, but it really is made for cold weather, and I hope you give it a try. You know the drill. Go to the site, get the ingredients, read the post. If you're not already there, you might be there. And most important, enjoy.